Okay, this is video 17 of one video a day during this quarantine. And I have someone I look up to completely, and she's another person that does not like a bunch of compliments. I know that, but she is one of the most amazing people in our community. If you don't know her, you need to. This is Rose Bax, and I met her through events, initially through Boys and Girls Clubs with those events. So tell us a little bit, if people don't know what you do, tell us what you do and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I am a professional fundraising auctioneer. So my focus and I guess real influence in auctions comes with a just with an intentional focus on the benefit and fundraising aspect of that. So my husband Matt and I work together, though we don't always end up at the same event at the same time. Oftentimes we're going, two different events in one evening, but yeah, that is our focus. We work with all sorts of charitable organizations, schools, and obviously the Boys and Girls Club where I originally met Tabitha, and foundations and any nonprofit organization. We work with them, and we bring, of course, the professional auctioneer, which is the stage presence, and we also bring a team with us to help just really facilitate what that looks like from the night of the event. But I think one of the most valuable things that we bring to the table is just the back end consultation. So, of course, we know that there's no perfect science to benefit and fundraising events, but at the same time, there is some tried and true kind of what we would consider best practices. And so we take our experience from the numerous events that we do throughout the year, and we bring those to each organization that we work with to try to really counsel them through the process of building a quality event from the time the doors open until the final farewell.
Yes, perfect. They do a great job. Like you said, like I love the lead up to, so there is like, how you're going to do this and where the money's going to come from. It is a little bit of a science. So my next question is, how do you juggle it all? You own your own business, you do this, things are crazy right now. So let's pretend that we're not in the middle of a pandemic, but and you're a mom and you're involved in the community and your church, like you're involved in so much. How do you juggle it all?
Well, honestly, I'm really fortunate because my kids are amazing. They're 7, 5, and 3, and they're crazy and so much fun. But Matt and I really are a team, honestly. So he leads some ministry stuff at church, and I do some ministry things at church, and then we work together. And it's funny because everyone's on lockdown,
Right.
and so Matt and I work together already. So this is not really anything new to us to be always together all the time.
Exactly.
But we have a great team. First and foremost, I have some wonderful partners that are just ready to show up and be consistent at events. So honestly, when you do event driven, as those evenings and weekends, finding somebody that will be consistent to show up and help you during those times is really key. And so we're fortunate. Yeah, we're fortunate in that. And then, like I said, Matt is my partner 100% in the home as well as in the business. And so, he helps make space for that. And then we have a nanny that is just a wonderful blessing to us. I don't know what we would do without her in that regard. And she helps, at least 2 to 3 days a week. And really one of the things that has been great for us is, of course, Matt's mom is close. I mean, we do have some advantages that maybe not everybody has, but that has been a huge part of it. And then focusing the attention so that when we're in one place, like if I'm at home, I try really hard to just be at home. I'm not a great multitasker. So the balance of that is.
I think I lost you. Oh no. You there, Rose? Oh no.
Tabitha, are
Did
you
I
still
lose
there?
you?
I can still see you.
We both froze and was like, oh no. So I was like, of course, as we were just
Yeah.
talking about that. Well, let's just roll into the next question. I love
Okay.
just go with it. So I know there's no secret sauce to anyone and what they're doing, and there's a little bit of everything, but you are a very successful auctioneer, not only like in North Idaho and to like all of us nonprofits that know you so well, but you reach out much further, and you've been awarded so many different things for what you're doing. What has been, I guess, the key to being so successful in what you're doing?
It's such a great question because, as you said, there is no secret sauce. And I think if I had to really nail it down to one thing, I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to start. So I can just tell you what I do, and that is that based on just kind of the nature of these events. I mean, my heart is so connected to the organizations that I work with. I mean, I love them. This is my community. I'm born and raised in Coeur d'Alene. I grew up in Athol. I'm a Lakeland grad, 12-year Lakeland grad, and this is my town. And I just feel a huge level of commitment to my community in that regard. And I think that you don't have to, let's use a Boys and Girls Club, for example, or Children's Village, and you don't have to experience that specific thing. You don't have to have been removed from your home and need a safe place to go to understand what that might feel like. I mean, I think that you can have a basic maybe understanding of what it would feel like to be lost or afraid or uncertain of your future without having to live those exact moments that they live. And I think that the real truth is that we're very fortunate, and life for us was not always this easy path. And I think that everybody has a story, and that in the long run, our goal is to just help make sure that people have a better future potentially than the past that they are walking away from. And we get to do that collectively as a team. Like I look at our community as this gathering of people that commit to helping those who have less than us. And that might mean that you have a lot and you can help a lot of people, or that might mean that you have a little and your impact only impacts maybe a few people, but that there's always someone that's operating in a lesser position than we are. And so if we can just acknowledge that we have a responsibility to, I guess, to commit to, I don't know, doing something for the greater good at the end of the day, feeling like we actually did something to make the world better for maybe just one person. That could be a text message or a card in the mail. It doesn't always even have to be financial. And I think that's the miss that some people think in the world of fundraising, that our only way of really reaching people is through money. And reality is that you can encourage people and help people feel seen and acknowledged just by an email. And I just think that we have a lot of opportunities on a day-to-day basis to leave the world a better place than what we entered it. So I think I just try to use that to connect with the people that I'm working with. And I think that comes on the stage. You can tell that my heart and my commitment is there. So, and the other thing is that I'm a real student of my practice. And so, I have continuing education that I participate in, and I try really hard to be knowledgeable about the organizations that I'm working with. So, I mean, my goal would be that a person would ask me at the end of an event, how long have you worked with XYZ? Because you spoke so clearly and eloquently about their vision and their mission. And so that, I think, is so key, because as a nonprofit, you have a specific, maybe like a typical script that you would use. You have like message points that you use. And I just want to be an extension of that, so that the people that I'm engaging with on the evening up from the stage are hearing the same thing that they would hear if you were the one engaging with them, that this is not new things, that this is, these are repetitive topics and notes that are true to the underlying message or mission of your organization.
Oh, I think that's completely true. If anyone's seen you on the stage, you look like you actually work for the organization, because
Yeah.
you know the mission, you know what they're doing, and it just, it's like, oh, she doesn't work for them. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think that I would agree with that 100%. My last question is, I've been talking to people and you're still helping the community. You're still, you're still out there saying great things, doing what you need to do. Like we said, postponing events, still working with these nonprofits. But, what can the community actually do for you and Matt? Like, what are things that the community can actually help serve you?
Well, honestly, one of the things that we're really excited about is we've been working really diligently these last couple of weeks on creating a platform for people to be able to transition their events into virtual live auctions. And so, we're excited about that. It's not something that is, I guess it's not really something that a person can do for us. So I guess that what the thing a person could do would be, number one, if someone is, reaching out and saying, hey, we're gonna go live. We're gonna keep this thing, we're gonna keep this live auction element, and we're gonna create this virtual gala, and we want you to show up on Thursday night at 7 p.m. and join us all on this webinar, and we're going to go live, and we're going to have an opportunity for Tabitha to come and talk with us about the mission. We're going to have 5 great live auction items. We're going to have a paddle raise, and people are still going to have opportunities to serve these organizations and to raise money for them. So number one, I would ask you to still show up. I mean, these organizations are still working so hard. And so just still show up for them just like you always have. And then also, and if you're thinking about maybe your event is still upcoming and you're just like, I don't know what to do. And, if you're a client of mine, we've probably had this conversation because we've been working through this, but there are options. And so I would say, don't just scrap it because you say, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to gather again. That there may be an opportunity for us to convert your event to a live virtual auction as well. And so we can still bring in some of that fun, really engaging, unity piece, and keep people engaged in that process. So I would say the 2 things you could do that would be, number one, show up when a person decides to go virtual and do that. And secondly, if you're still really considering, hey, what do I do? Just know that could be an option for you. And, we could talk through the details of what that looks like and stuff, but there is definitely capacity for transitioning these events into live virtual galas.
That is awesome. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to meet with me today. And I just appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And I appreciate you tremendously, and your continued efforts to just keep people focused and engaged, and not running into their kind of hidden dark spots. That we're still a community, and we're going to be back together soon. So
Yes, we are.
let's just continue these relationships. Yeah.
Much.
Awesome. Thank you.